What's up, everybody? Good morning. Happy Thursday. It's Thursday. It is Thursday, January 26, 2023. How are you doing? Super excited to be here. I hope you can hear me on Facebook, and I know you can hear me on Instagram. What's good, everybody? It's Maisha Edmond, licensed cosmetologist in the state of New York. I am also a certified trichologist. I am your most favorite trichology mentor, coach, friend, girlfriend. How y'all doing? Hey, Sadaria. So listen, today I just want to do a quick chat. I am talking to the Trichology Leaders, calling all leaders. You may have just started trichology, but you know what? I'm really looking to go in the direction of leading. I don't want to just be a part, but I really want to make my mark. Ooh, bars. I don't want to just be a part, but I want to make my mark in trichology. And so if that is you, if that's somebody that you know, please share and let them know that I'm talking to them. I'm talking to the leaders in trichology, and there are certain things that leaders do in trichology. So if you are a trichologist and you're like, listen, okay, I want to be a leader. I'm on the path of being a leader. Now, let me just say this. I remember that I got on and I said, listen, I'm not teaching anymore. You just got here and you're just trying to figure it out, right? But that means this, right? Because, a lot of people is like, well, now what am I going to, I want to get a strategy session with you. I want to do this. I want to do that. Have you made up your mind that you are going to lead? Now, if you're going to be somebody that's just kind of like hanging on and saying, oh, I'm just going to do trichology, then I'm not, we not together, right? But if you are somebody that is saying, look, I'm going to be a trichology leader. I want to be a leader. I'm a thought leader. I'm somebody who loves to create. I'm somebody who wants to establish things in my community for my demographic. As far as trichology, hair loss is concerned, help. I'm having a little trouble on Facebook. I hope y'all can see me. So listen. Things that trichology leaders do. So go ahead and share, comment. Let's have a conversation, right? So one of the things that the only thing that I wanted to talk about today is trichology leaders maximize. Trichology leaders maximize. If you are a trichology leader, you are going to have the ability to maximize. And you're probably like, Maisha, okay, what does that mean? So when I say that a trichology leader maximizes, wait, hold up. Let me scale back for a minute. A little bit of housekeeping. I am live on Instagram, Trichology_911. I am also live on my regular Maisha Edmond page on Facebook, on Trichology 911 on Facebook, and I am live on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe. I'm probably going to be doing a few little things over there exclusively for YouTube. All right, let's get back into it. So when you say maximize, what are you saying, Maisha? I'm talking about making the most, taking that one thing, those 2-3 things that you have, and really stretching them out, maximizing all that you have as a trichologist. So what do trichology leaders do? They maximize. What do they maximize? And I have notes because I thought this was worth, writing down. So geniuses take notes. So you should take notes too. The first thing that we are going to maximize is our time, right? The time of year, though. See, this is where it gets a little different, right? Because when you listen to stylists and trichologists, right? Every year, I always hear, winter is a slow time of the month. The New Year's is a slow time. The springtime is slow because they having weddings. The summertime is slow because, they on vacation. The fall is slow because, people don't spend money on the little school clothes. The winter, around the holidays is slow. So if every season is slow, then how are you able to make it as a trichologist, right? So this is the thing, right? We want to maximize the time of year. So when we look at maximizing the time of year, you look at where you see your influx with, right? So around this time of year, do your clients or potential clients have access to more revenue, more money, right? Then what you're going to do is you're going to begin to scale, right? You're going to scale what you're doing, and then you're going to make the maintenance part of your treatment plans fit where there is a financial decline. Does that make sense? So if you are like, okay, right now is a time that I'm really getting a lot of the treatment plans. People are really saying, I have this disposable income. I'm able to really invest in growing my hair, making sure my scalp is right, really getting into a position where, I can do those things. Then what you want to do is make your treatment plan fit and start to put things together. Hey, Marquita, start to put things together where the maintenance part, which is a little less costly, is going to be where it's usually like a financial decline. For example, if everybody gave me taxes and now all of a sudden the Saints want to get their hair, where they need it to be, right? Then that somewhere around April-ish, right? People don't use their whole, their whole little check, right? And if they have, then let me see, the background music is computer. Thank you. I didn't even know that was on. There it is. Thanks. So if you're like, okay, around April is like, okay, they really don't have the money that they had before, then what you want to do is you want to make sure that that's the time that you begin to offer the maintenance programs, right? So what do Trichology Leaders do? They maximize the time. If you're not in Trichology and you're offering something, you have to maximize the time of year that you are in. The next thing that Trichology Leaders do is we maximize the opportunity to network. Right? We are maximizing the opportunity to network. What does that look like? We go to unusual places to present our services. If everybody's at the beauty show, if everybody's at the Bronner Brothers, right? Outside of you teaching, and I understand networking, but if you want to stand out, and that trichology is something that is going to be, thank you, where it's going to be like oversaturated, then you need to go in places that are unusual for a trichologist to be. So what does that look like? There are like chapters of NAACP here on Long Island, right? And they have vendor tables. Now, I've been to an event or two, right? They have them at like these cute little like country club things, and people got their vendors, and there's like tables, and there's makeup and there's shoes and there's this and there's that, but there's not a trichologist. So why wouldn't I present my things there, right? I have my demographic there. I understand that there are people there. I'm looking at the tickets. The tickets are $100 a plate, right? So because of that, I'm like, okay, so let me present trichology there. So as a trichology leader, you're putting yourself in places that are unusual for a trichologist to be in. Now, catch this if you're not a trichologist, because I'm saying the same thing to you. Maximize the time of the year, maximize your opportunity to network, right? The next thing we're going to do is maximize our current clientele. If you are a trichologist and you are a trichology leader, your current clientele can be maximized. What does that look like? Well, especially if you are still styling hair, right? If you are a trichologist that has a VIP like me, and you are still styling hair, then you can maximize the current clientele. How do you do that? I'm glad you asked, right? So you're going to offer certain treatments. You're going to give the clients an ability to access a select few, maybe 3 trichology-based services or treatments that will enhance the strength and health of their hair. And then you let them know, also you may have a referral program. You may have something where if they refer somebody that needs you as a trichologist, that they can benefit from that too. All right. We talked about things that trichology leaders do. The next thing that trichology leaders do, that as far as maximizing, they're going to maximize relationships with other stylists. Because I know that we have this thing about networking with other stylists and building relationships with other stylists. Number one, don't be a snake, right? If you're the trichologist, don't have the people coming over for hair loss and they in your chair and then you tell them, oh, I know how to do a ponytail too, because that's not what they came there for. So if you are working with another stylist and you are providing trichology services, provide the trichology service, right? But when I say maximize the relationship with other stylists, what I want you to do is start to look at offering to come to other salons, go to other stylists, right? As a trichologist only, and let those stylists be your preferred vendors or stylists to refer the clients to once the client has finished with your service, or if they're, or while they're in it, right? So don't be stealing people's clients, trichologists. I'm just saying. Thank you. So if I'm the trichologist, like say you have a stylist, you like, I love my stylist. I'll work with your stylist and I will say, well, these are the findings. This is what I have. Now they may not be able to do what I do holistically, but I'll say, okay, so what are you using on her hair? Okay, so if you do this, let's spread out the relaxers. Let's change the braiding pattern. I will work with what she does based on what she does with you and your hair so that you can have the best, right? So I'm going to maximize my relationships with other stylists. I'm going to offer my services as a trichology leader. And I'm going to say, hey, color queen, I'm going to go to different hair salons, and I'm going as the trichologist only. So if you're like, listen, I got a lot of people with hair loss and I'm just kind of like, I don't even know what to do. I'm giving protein treatments and I'm sitting them for cholesterol treatment, but that's all I got. Right? You have to build that trust where it's like they know that, okay, if they come to you, you're going to do trichology. You're not going to steal their clients. So once again, you want to offer to go to the salons as a trichologist only, and then let those stylists, right? And you work out a little referral program, but you let those stylists become your preferred vendors or stylists. So while you have clients that come in that may not have a stylist, you can refer, or when your clients are finished with your treatment plan, you can refer them out. The next thing that a trichology leader is going to do is maximize resources and tools. Because some tools are nice, but they're not necessary. You get that? Some tools are nice, but they are not necessary. Right? So what's the workaround? Hey, Style Hair Studio, what is the workaround? Hey, Veronica. So what is the workaround to the tools? And hey, Perdita, and what is the workaround to the resources? Because as a trichology coach and mentor, what I see is I meet a lot of people that may have finished school when I did, that still haven't figured out how to get started because they were made to believe that they can't do their job as a trichologist without this program, this tool, this subscription. And what happens is they are stuck. So as a trichology leader, you have to maximize the tools and the resources that you have. Good morning. The tools and the resources that you have. And I always talk about this, but if you're using certain types of tools, resources, if you're using certain programs, you know what I'm saying? What if you can't afford that subscription? What if it's getting a little out of hand? What if, you know what I'm saying, it was $30 a month, but now it's $90 a month and they didn't grandfather you in? What are you going to do? Have you figured out how to maximize? What are you using? Come up with your format. What are the forms? What are the questions that you're asking? And how can you maximize and put that on maybe a free platform or another platform that maybe it was the platform wasn't even created for what you were going to use it for, but you can, right? For example, there is a platform that I love to use. I'm not going to say the name because they're not paying me, but I love to use them. And you can do the insurance claims and blah, 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 all of that, right? You put in the little, put in your notes, you put in your treatment plan and all that other stuff, right? But what did I have to do? I had to look at the questions that I created anyway that I put in there, and then I had to make links. So I had to use Jotform, or I had to use Google Form, which is free, right? Put those in there. I had to use Acuity. I use Acuity. They're not paying me either, but I got a little affiliate, you know what I'm saying? Right? But I'll use Acuity. I'll put those questions in Acuity, make all of them required so that when the client comes to book a full consultation, I'm able to get all the pertinent information that I need. And then with Acuity, they also have, if you go to the highest level, they also have HIPAA compliance. And so if you want to ask certain things as far as what we ask as a trichologist, you can, because you are HIPAA compliant. So as opposed to spending $90 a month on the other program, you can do something like your online booking site with HIPAA compliance. Okay. So we're talking about Trichology leaders maximizing the what we do as far as trichologists, right? So the first thing again is maximize the time of year, because you understand that at certain times of year, especially for the people that you serve, right? Your demographic, there's going to be more money that they're able to spend. And so if that's the case, then you want to scale what you're doing to make the maintenance portion fit where there is a financial decline. So if everybody's getting tax returns and everybody been coming to you saying, I really want to grow my hair back, I really want to come to you, how much is the treatment plan again? And you're not going down on your prices, and you shouldn't, because you are the solution. Then what you have to do is make it available, and then make sure that that maintenance area kind of aligns with when they don't have as much money. That makes sense? I feel like it makes sense, right? The next thing you're going to maximize is the opportunity to network, right? Go to unusual places where trichology is not presented. Stop being where all the trichologists are. Stop being where all the stylists are. If you feel like you're being drowned out. Now, if you're consistent and you're loud and you know what I'm saying? Because the internet streets are loud. And this is for any industry, any person. Any industry, any person. You want your stuff to thrive, but everybody's saying the same thing, and everybody's saying it at the same time, and everybody looks the same. Then you have to create your own lane. Let me testify. Okay. So if you know me as a trichology mentor, coach, you've taken any of my classes, right? Even if you're somebody that has been interested in my services, the only reason that you see me is because I had to create my own lane. The only reason that you see me right now is that because I had to create my own lane. What did that look like? When I first started trichology, what happened was it just seemed like everybody was becoming a trichologist. And it was just like everybody was talking about the 5 common types of hair loss that we see behind the chair. And everybody was graduating and immediately teaching trichology courses. And my thing was, well, why would I teach trichology if I just graduated trichology? And I know I want other people to get it, but is there a hole that I can fill? And so for at least 3 months, probably more, every single day, I would say exactly. It seems like that now too. It's always going to be like that. is always going to be like this influx. So how do you pull away? So let me tell you, I kept saying to myself, find a hole and fill it, find a hole and fill it, find a hole and fill it. And so I was looking at, okay, I don't really even want to teach trichology, but I feel like I'm kind of like a teacher, a mentor, a coach. So how do I do that? I started looking at what was missing, and I started looking at documenting my process. Why? Because I had quit about 5 to 7 times, quit trichology. Why? Because I couldn't figure out how to use the tools. I couldn't figure out what programs to use. I couldn't figure out how to position myself. I couldn't figure out how to transition clients from regular styling clients to trichology clients. Couldn't figure out how to speak in layman's terms about trichology without making people feel like they had some kind of terminal disease. Because you do that. You get in trichology, and next thing you know, all we hear from you is mitochondria. All we hear from you is follicular dystrophy. All we hear from you, is atrophy and antigen effluvium and all that other stuff, right? So it makes people feel like, I got a little shedding, but I'm not really I'm not bald. Or, wait a minute, my hair, I did lose all my hair, but I don't want people to know I go to Maisha, because if I go to Maisha, that means that they know I ain't got no hair. So I had to figure out how to become all things to all men. What did I have to do? I had to find a hole and fill it in trichology. What did that look like? Teaching other trichologists the business behind the business of trichology. And everything that I went through, and maximizing that. So like if Marquita is still on, Marquita has a university. She has an academy where she's teaching stylists how to maximize what they have in the salon so that they are more than just stylists. She's helping them to become trichologically sound, right? So then that would be her lane. She started out with just treatments, but then she noticed like she really loved treatments. So what she decided to do was maximize that. So you might be doing something where you're like, okay, I really still love styling. I just don't want to see anybody with hair loss. I really want to help people with hair loss, but I still really love styling. So is there a way that you can flip that so that you can teach people how to style properly, or how to insert trichology in their styling practices so that they're not doing more harm than good, so they could slay and have something to slay when they done? Because what I realized is that I wanted to be a hairstylist, but then I had to create hair to be able to do hair, because none of my clients had hair, because the styles that they were getting was pulling their hair out, or the nutrition or the stress that they were under was causing their hair to fall out. And I couldn't keep blaming the clients because they didn't know what was wrong, and neither did I. So I had to figure out what to do. I had to go to school. So as a trichology leader, right, there are certain things that we do. And the first thing we're going to do is maximize. What are we going to maximize? We're going to maximize that time of year. We're going to maximize the opportunities to network. We're going to maximize our current clientele. We're going to maximize relationships, and we're going to maximize our resources and our tools. Does that make sense? Okay. So what is the workaround? What is the workaround? We got to figure out what we already have in our clinics, what we already have as far as tools. Who did you not reach out to? Why you ain't make a cute little basket and go to the dermatologist's office and take the basket to the office manager and tell him, hey, girl, my name is Maisha. I'm a trichologist. I'm the bridge between the hairstyling and the dermatologist. I'm the holistic solution. I get a lot of clients that may need your services, and I would like to refer. But if you have some clients that are not necessarily willing to, get the shots and all that other stuff, and they want to go a more holistic route, by all means, let them know I'm here. But here's a basket for you. Here's some chocolate and some something. Thank you so much for listening to me. Right? I'm going to places that other trichologists are not going, because now we're kind of comfortable. Some of us are kind of comfortable on the internet. So what we're doing is we are being hopeful that somebody will see our live or somebody will see us post, and we're still not doing the legwork. We're not hitting the streets. Remember back in the day, you had a little card. You know what I'm saying? You walked around, you did a little canvassing. But now we're doing our canvassing digitally, which is not a problem. But if you find out that the digital space is crowded and you are neglecting your physical space, you need to get out into your community and let people know, because you are a trichology leader. All right. That being said, I got something big coming up, right? I got something big coming up. It is Trichology 911 University, right? But it's the Leadership Academy, right? It is going to be super dope. It is 6 months. It's 6 months. Leadership Academy. It's not open for everybody. I will be taking applications. Okay. And so I'm going to teach you how to do this thing I do. Okay. So Leadership Academy is going to be amazing. Also, you still need a strategy session. It's still January. I still have slots for strategy sessions, VIP days, and look out for Leadership Academy. All right. So I hope I helped you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great day. Happy hair growing.